embryology are of various type, like plant embryology, animal embryology, human embryology. We be, you being the student of botany, you have to study the plant embryology, and the topics included in your syllabus, which are to be studied, are uh, sporogenesis, sporogenesis, and sporogenesis are of sporogenesis is of two types: microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. Then the another topic is gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is also of two types: microgametogenesis and megagametogenesis. Microgametogenesis and
Mega.
megagametogenesis. Beside this, you have to study the different types of embryo sac and their development, which include the monosporic, bisporic, tetrasporic, all such type of embryo sac. And this topic, a very important question is asked in your examination. You are asked to give an account of different types of embryo sacs. So embryo sacs, embryo sacs are also known as the female gametophyte. Beside this, you have to study the process of fertilization, double fertilization. Then you have to study, it is followed by the topic embryogeny, the development of embryo, particularly the development of embryo in the dicote. Okay, and the development of embryo from the zygote is known as the embryogeny. So you have to study the embryogeny in detail, and you have and this topic is followed by another very important topic, which is known as the endosperm. You have to study different types of endosperms and their development. You give a very important question will be asked from this section, this topic. You give an account of the endosperm and their development. What is endosperm? Describe the different types of endosperm and their development. So this topic is also included. Then you are also um, required to study the anther and pollen culture. You have to also study the anther culture, its methodology, its application in the production of haploids. In addition to that, you are also required to know about the embryo culture. You have to study anther culture, embryo culture, and their application. And finally, you have to study the various applications of the plant tissue culture. So these are the topics these are the topics which are included in the syllabus of plant embryology, which you have to study in section B of paper 4th. So embryology, my assignment, I have already told you that I have to teach the plant embryology. So these are the various topics included in the embryology which you have to study. And I just want to know from you that whether you know the लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ ए टिपिकल एंजियोस्पर्मिक प्लांट. एक टिपिकल एंजियोस्पर्मिक प्लांट के लाइफ साइकिल के बारे में आप क्या जानते हैं? आई थिंक दैट you might be knowing the life cycle of a typical angiospermic plant, because to run the for the successful smooth running of the life cycle of an angiospermic plant, uh, all these events which are included in embryology are required. As for example, you all know that the angiospermic plant body is sporophyte, okay? Sporophytic, and I think that you know that there exists alternation of generation in the angiospermic plant, like, and this alternation of generation, conversion of diploid stage into haploid generation and vice versa, this is known as the alternation of generation. You all know that all the eukaryotic organism, whether they are animals or plants, they exhibit the process of alternation of generation. You know that the plant body of the angiospermic plants are diploid, and the haploid stage are restricted to the microspore and are present in the microspore, megaspore, and male gametes and female gametes. And there is a very important information in this connection, that you all know that it is the meiosis which reduces the number of chromosome to half. And this meiosis is of three type. You know the you know my gametic meiosis, zygotic meiosis, and sporic meiosis. And you know that in case of angiospermic plant, sporic meiosis takes place. Meiosis takes place during the formation of the spore, not at the time of the formation of gamete. In case of human beings or all the animals, gametic meiosis take place. In human beings or all animals, the meiosis take place in the meiosis take place in the it takes place during the process of the gametogenesis, during the formation of egg, that is called oogenesis, the formation of a sperm, which is known as a spermatogenesis, and meiosis takes place in spermatocytes and oocytes in case of animal. But on the other hand, in case of plants, particularly in case of plants like angiosperms, gymnosperms, and the meiosis takes place at the time of formation of the spores. So this sporic meiosis is found. If you are asked to a question, in case of the angiospermic plant, meiosis take place, which type of meiosis is found? So and there are various options. Then the correct option will be that in case of angiospermic plant, the sporic meiosis take place. Sporic meiosis. You know that in case of plant, angiospermic plant, at first the microspore is formed, and that microspore is produced by the process of meiosis from the microspore mother cell, and the microspore represents the first cell of the male gametophytic generation, and the male gamete is haploid. And but the meiosis takes place during the formation of a spore, microspore from the microspore mother cell. Okay, similarly, the meiosis takes place during the formation of megaspore, and this megaspore gives rise to the development of the female gametes in case of the angiospermic plant. So, therefore, you can say that the sporic meiosis is found in case of angiospermic plant during the formation of spores. So, and this production of a spore from the spore mother cells is known as the sporogenesis. Thus, the first topic included in the syllabus of plant embryology, which you have to study, is the sporogenesis. Sporogenesis, the production of a spore from the spore mother cell inside the sporangium, is known as the sporogenesis, and it is of two types: microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. And you have to study both micro and megasporogenesis. Okay, there and then this microspore gives rise to the production of the male gametes. Okay, and this phenomenon is known as the microgametogenesis, male gametophyte development, and the formation of female gametophyte, that is female gametophyte from the megaspore, is known as the megagametogenesis or female gametophyte development. Okay, and this megagametophyte, female gametophyte or megagametogenesis is also very important. And the embryo sac, there are, you can say, the female, you can use the term female gametophyte or the embryo sac. And the embryo sacs in case of angiospermic plants are of three major types: monosporic type, bisporic, and tetrasporic. And all these uh, three types have various subtypes, which we will discuss in very detail. And then you have to study the process of fertilization, syngamy, and double fertilization, and and embryogeny, that is the development of embryo from the zygote, and how the endosperm develops, what is primary endosperm nucleus, and what is double fertilization and triple fission. We will be discussing everything which have been included in your syllabus in very detail. And not only this, I will just on the during the lecture, I will ask some questions from you, which I taught, the topic which will be taught. And finally, you have also to study a basic knowledge. You have to are also required to have a basic knowledge of plant tissue culture, in which you have to study anther culture and embryo culture. What is anther and pollen culture? What is its application in production of haploid? And what are the embryo culture? All these things are included in your in the section, in the section of embryology, which you have to study. So this is my first and introductory lecture. And whenever I uh, engage your class, I will start systematically from the sporogenesis. I suggest you to go through and to study this sporogenesis. And I think that you might have some basic knowledge of sporogenesis, which was included, which is also included in the syllabus of 11th क्लास में आपको पढ़ा होगा थोड़े एम्ब्रियोलॉजी, थोड़ी सी स्पोरोजेनेसिस वगैरह. So you must study it, and whenever I take your class of the embryology, I will start the sporogenesis. So